There are usually two crops for raspberries. In the north, the first crop peaks in July, and the second crop starts in late August. And today we're learning all about these sweet and fragrant berries here at Amawalk Farm in Katonah, New York. Tell me the history of this property.
I know the farm was built in 1825. When my former husband and I bought the property in 1967, it was from a man who'd had it for several generations, but not way back. His name was Ralph Sayward, and he was in the coal business. He was not really a farmer.
And so how did you decide to bring the place back to being a farm? I mean, you're from New York City.
I know, I'm from New York City, and I've worked my whole career in New York City, and I've always loved to garden here, and I've always loved gardening, and I've always found this a refuge and very soothing and very healing. And I'd say, get fairly burned out with what I was doing in New York City after all these years. And so I was looking for a way to farm. I wasn't quite sure how I would farm, and I wasn't quite sure it would be here. But at some point I just decided, look, I have this wonderful farm and I'm going to learn how to farm. And then I met Larry. And he has more experience farming than I do, and he was raised on a farm. When we got together, we just decided we would make this a farm.
When we met, part of what brought us together and got us interested in each other was the fact that Marion had told me that she really wanted to start an organic farm, but she didn't have a clue how to do it.
Right.
She had this farm. And I had a lot of knowledge, not encyclopedic by any means, but many, many years of doing it.
Yeah.
And so we agreed to do this. But the first big question was, what to grow. And I was new to the area, having moved here from Maine, and we were out and about going to one store or another, and I noticed that raspberries were selling for $5.99 the half pint. And I said to Marion, this I know how to do. This is a small fortune for these things. That's a silly price.
Right.
We ought to plant raspberries.
What's the best way to pick a raspberry, and how do you know it's the one that you should pick?
This is a good one to look at.
Okay.
So this one here and this one here would be entirely ripe, really ready to go.
Okay.
This one is very close, but there's just the faintest hint of orange, especially up here at the top. It's really not quite ready. This one is even less close. It's starting to ripen, but it's got a few days. And then the pure white ones, they're the next crop. These won't be ready for a week. But every raspberry is on this kernel. Okay. And the really ripe ones, they roll right off the kernel.
Now, what's the best way to store a raspberry? Once you've picked them and you're going to bring them home, what do you recommend people do?
Okay, don't wash them. So many people come here think they got to wash the berries. There are two reasons why you don't have to. First, we're organic. There's nothing on this berry that you need to worry about. And more importantly, raspberries hate being wet. They'll mold in front of your eyes if you do that.
Really?
If you're going to eat them soon, like over the next 3 or 4 days, get them right into the refrigerator, the coldest part of the refrigerator, and they'll be fine.
Okay.
Raspberries mush very easily. And if you have mushy berries, you're going to have moldy berries. So it's better to pick small boxes and more of them. It's much better for the berries and they store better. If you want to keep them, like we do, we have 15 pounds in the freezer. We just take them. We dump them into a freezer Ziploc bag, get the air out of it, throw them in.
So that's all you have to do to freeze them. Piece of cake.
They're also great for pancakes.
Ooh.
Raspberry pancakes are my favorite.
I'll have to try that. I recently read an article that said people picked raspberries as their #2 fruit, just behind strawberries. And why not? They're sweet yet subtly tart, and they burst with flavor in every bite. Now let's see what we can do with these amazing berries. See you in the kitchen.